Hey everybody, I'm getting ready for Annam's Italpasta party. They were kind enough to send us a whole lot of pasta stuff. So I'm going to be cooking with, as a base for the sauce that I'm making, the spicy roasted garlic Italpasta. They sent us a couple cases of these things and tons of pasta. What I'm going to be cooking that with is the Italpasta penne. I've used this sauce before. And what I used it with is I made a sauce in about half an hour. Started with this, speeds up if you use canned stuff to begin with. But then what I do is I had chopped up, and this stuff comes julienned already. So this is, these are sun-dried tomatoes. And then I got some beef salami. You can use any type of salami, but I like beef salami, it's a little bit richer. And I fry that a little bit in its own oil. So you start it slow, and then you add heat until it crisps up a bit. And then you add in a little bit more oil, the sun-dried tomatoes, a diced up onion, a whole bunch of garlic. Yeah, garlic. And then I started adding to the sauce. When it's all done, said and done, I'll add mushrooms, I'll add a whole bunch of stew beef as well. I want it to be a rich sauce, I want it to be flavorful. This is like the actual, it's the key element of the meal. It's the entree. So it needs to be rich, it needs to be flavorful, it needs to be filling. Finally, I'll garnish it with parsley. I'm gonna cook it. I'm gonna take a couple little videos while I do it. Shouldn't actually take me all that long. See you guys later, and hopefully I'm not covered in sauce. So this is a pretty critical step. If you try to cut salami, and if you don't lay it out on a board, it'll stick together, and then we end up with just giant chunks of salami. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that, but it's better to just lay it out on the board and then slice it this way. As a base for the sauce, I've added all the beef salami and onions and garlic. I added all the garlic too. So I'm just letting that brown up, and I'll actually let that brown up well enough until the salami actually crisps up a bit more. And then I'll add the sauce, and then I add the sun-dried tomatoes and the mushrooms and everything else, and eventually the beef. More beef, double the beef. Sun-dried tomatoes are really similar to raisins. So this looks dry, but this is actually pretty chewy. Taste it, it'll be sweet, it has a little bit of spice, but it's really delicious. Adds some nice texture to a pasta dish. Once you have a really good base of salami and onions all cooked up, you turn up the heat and you start to brown your stew beef a little bit before you add your sauce. This sauce is ready to go. I have enough sauce here to feed a good 20 people. I simmer this for about 45 minutes, and I'll let it rest overnight, and I'll throw the whole pot back on the stove tomorrow just to heat it all up.
Right now I've got some butter and some cardamom seeds, and I'm just frying them before I throw in the spaghettini, and we're using Italpasta spaghettini, and we're gonna try and make this dessert. Normally it's with vermicelli, but today we're gonna experiment. Wish me luck, Mom! Okay guys, so I basically added a whole bag of milk, and it seems to have dissolved mainly, and I like them to be really creamy. Like right now the noodles obviously look super creamy. I might add more milk. I've added like 10 tablespoons of sugar, so it's sweet. I'm gonna add some almonds, some raisins, and might even just add some more cardamom for flavoring. Added way more milk, and it looks so bomb. I tested some. It tasted really good. Made Savannah, yay! It tastes really good too. It's very creamy, just the way I like it. And it's got raisins and almonds, and I put a few walnuts in them. They're supposed to be really sweet and just delicious.
So you've already seen Annam making dessert. I am gonna be making a little bit of a snack. So last night, one thing you might have missed, we might not have recorded it from Food Basics, is Annam challenged me to making crackers. So I have a cracker recipe, and I'm gonna use some Italpasta cold pressed olive oil. I bought these 2 baguettes from a little place down the street called the Paris Bakery. Oddly enough, it's the Paris Bakery, but it's ran by Portuguese folks. They're wonderful. So it's a simple recipe. You dice them up into thin slices. You add about half a cup of olive oil into a mixing cup. And then you add some brown sugar and some spices. Brown sugar makes it a little sweeter than a normal baguette crisp. And then you bake them in the oven at 400 degrees for about 10 minutes until they're nice and crispy. Once you've cut up all your little cracker bits, you put a whole bunch of them in this bag. Any old bag will do. I'm using a clear one so you can see what I'm doing. And then I take my mixture, which is brown sugar, garlic powder, salt, and olive oil, and I pour some into the bag. I pour it into the side of the bag so it doesn't just immediately go all over the food. I pour it in, I seal off the bag, and I shake it up. See why you want to do this in a bag, because it would get pretty messy otherwise. Once it's all shaken out, you then put them onto a tray. And you do that until you have all of your crisps covered. I'm about to get started making mac and cheese for the first time in my whole life. Annam is getting ready for our party. She's just finishing up with some of the decor. She's gonna do a makeup look, you know, the whole thing. So usually what happens is she'll kind of direct some elements of what she'd like in a dish, and then I go ahead and I try making it. In this case, it's gonna be mac and cheese. So we're using the Italpasta elbows. We're gonna use about 2 cups of these guys. I'm gonna use half this thing of Balderson cheddar. It's a pretty sharp cheddar, but it's a good Canadian brand. There's a lot of butter in this recipe. So if you ever ask me about how do I like cheese, I don't eat cheese. I think it's cheating with food. That's fair. This one is probably exactly the opposite of what I'd cook and eat myself. However, I know people love cheese, so that's cool. It's all butter and it's all cheese. And I'm gonna use 18% table cream instead of milk. So everybody, you're gonna gain some weight if you went to my party. That's okay though. First I'm gonna make the sauce, and I'm gonna cook the elbows in the sauce, and then I'm gonna put them in one of these guys, top them off with some more cheese, and Bob's your uncle. It's gonna be delicious, it's gonna look amazing, and there'll be corn and green onions in it, so there's actually vegetables in there somewhere.
Every time we're in the kitchen, know that we are not alone. Always a dog watching.
I'm now wearing an Italpasta apron that they sent us, and I'm almost ready to put my macaroni and cheese in the oven. So we're baking them in these little ramekins. We pick them up from Dollarama. Ramekins, they're cheap, they're amazing. You can bake with them. What wouldn't you love? Kind of oniony. Annam says that it tastes a little bit more like a macaroni salad than it would an actual mac and cheese. But seeing I've never eaten mac and cheese, and I've never had macaroni salad, I wouldn't know the difference anyways. So hopefully it's good, and I'll let you know how they turn out. I'm sure we'll have some reactions from the folks who are coming to dinner, and you'll be able to see the end result after I pull it from the oven.
So what I'm going to say, Christmas Eve is coming soon. Now are you, dear old man? Whisper what you bring to me. Tell me if you can.
We've got our friends here. James made amazing garlic bread, some with cheese. We've got Karen and Fab and Sarah, who's helping us with photography. We're getting ready to eat soon. Yay!
You have to separate male and female.
Oh, really? Like
With
one
the
male, one female?
With the exception, like the couple, you separate the couple. With the exception of a young married couple during the first year of marriage.
They have to stay together. I didn't know that.
You have to have male female alternate and separate couples.
James, did you know that?
The seating rules?
Yeah.
I've heard of that, yes. So make sure you have an entertaining dinner party.
Yeah.
Oh.
Way too much
So I'm not just sitting there talking to my husband.
I go for it, no worries. Yeah. Because if you stay in the couples, they're gonna talk to each other. And
Yeah.
And you forgot to do the dishes.
We're digging into the mac and cheese. So what does this have, James? It's got pasta, cheese, corn.
So it uses 18% heavy cream, butter, mustard powder, onion powder, mixed with a Balderson cheddar cheese, a white Balderson, and cooked in corn and green onion. The smoky sauce, the smokiness is coming from the all beef salami.
How is it?
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's delicious.
James, do you like your creation?
I do.
It looks so good. Yay, dessert. We've got some cannolis, tiramisu, and that's the dessert that I tried making. We'll see how it goes. Well, guys, that was a very successful dinner party. We had my best friend Karen and one of James's best friends, Fab, join us. So thank you guys for coming.
I'm glad you guys were able to be a part of it.
Yeah, we tested out a whole bunch of new recipes that we haven't really played with before. So it was really fun to do an appetizer, a dinner, and a dessert. Our kitchen is disastrous right now. Like, I'm just gonna show you a glimpse. Oh, that we're gonna clean up now.
Yay, dishwasher!
But seriously, that was a lot of fun. I know James really enjoys cooking, especially for people. Do you enjoy cooking for me?
Of course I enjoy cooking for you.
But you probably enjoy cooking for like people.
The
Like a party.
the more the merrier.
Yeah, so I think you had fun this weekend.
I did, thank you.
And thank you to Italpasta for sending us so much amazing pasta and food to test out. And we sent our friends home with a lot of pasta too, so hopefully they'll get to experiment and make their own recipes.
Yeah.
And see you guys next time.
Bye, guys.
Mwah.